please, relax. Folks, please, seriously. The Rizzo Show starts now.
MGM Northfield Park presents The Rizzo Show. And now, your host, Tony Rizzo.
Tony, death, taxes, and the Browns losing the opener.
Not just losing.
It's the easiest bet in Vegas, and we fell for it. Hi, everybody, and welcome. Yeah, we know it was an unbelievably disappointing day today for the Browns, but I feel like I'm going to offer a little truth and reason here tonight. Folks, it's one game. Let me just say this, Tony. When you don't practice during the preseason, when you have 12 new starters on offense and defense and new receivers, and you know what the Browns did today? They played a preseason game, and they got their butts kicked. You might want to Tony Grossi is here. Would you rethink preseason right now if you could?
Obviously, now, we had faith that the coach found his formula for getting this team ready. They were healthy going into this game, and they laid a giant egg.
They did, and we'll start with the penalties, Tone. I don't know what happened. First of all, what were there? 6 personal fouls. I mean, that's Raider-like. That's Raiders of the 70s-like. What, Tony, can you explain what was happening? Was it frustration for the Browns?
Well, I think it started out with lack of discipline.
But Myles Garrett, what is he doing?
Then it went to lack of composure. And once you get it under your skin, like the Titans, who knows what was going on, but you have to be bigger than that. 18 penalties, Riz, the most by a Cleveland team since 1951. 51.
We committed 18 and 51. I did not know that.
It was a good year for the team, but that one game they had 18 and also 21.
Some people compared the Browns to a frat house, and they played like a frat house today, right? What does Freddie need to do now to cut? Everybody goes, he said today, I heard Hugh Jackson say this. I got to figure it out. I'll get it figured out. Told him how? How are you going to figure that out?
Yeah, well, fortunately for them, they have an extra day this week to figure it out prior to the next game. But, I guess it's, you could blame some of it on the offensive line was decimated midway through that game. But there you see defensive, the leadership of the team, the strength of the team, the defensive line really failed them today.
And our biggest fear came true, Tone. The O-line did not look good today. Now, if your left tackle is going to commit 2 personal fouls and get ejected, Gregory, what is wrong with you? Tony, he kicked the guy.
He did.
He kicked the guy. Tony, the game to me was over when he got ejected.
And Riz, they were a little short-handed to start. They deactivated 2 offensive linemen that went into with 7 offensive linemen, which is pretty much the norm. But then you get ejected. Then you have a couple injuries, and there was a period of time that there was no healthy offensive lineman on the bench in case another guy got hurt.
Yeah, and Baker took a beating today, Tony. I mean, look at this hit right here in the end zone. That is really tough.
Yeah, he might have spent some extra time in the trainer's room after this game.
He did say he was okay, though, right?
He did, but it was very short sentence. I'm fine.
All right, are you worried that the O-line is not going to be good enough to protect Baker Mayfield?
Well, now, yeah, because they have an injury to Kendall Lamb, who is the reserve tackle, who came in when Greg Robinson got ejected. Yeah, I mean, you can't argue otherwise after that performance. You're on your home field. You have a 37-year-old pass rusher sacking your quarterback. You give up a sack in the end zone for a safety. Yeah, it was pretty ugly.
Tone, new roster needs more time to gel, obviously, after today. So what would you recommend? Playing more in the preseason? I mean, the goal was to get everybody healthy. Until they got healthy, they were healthy, and they looked horrible.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, they looked as rusty as any other previous team. You know what we keep talking about, get the team ready for that first game.
Right.
And Freddie Kitchens thought he had the formula, and it just didn't work. So,
new offensive coordinator, he's calling the plays. He looked like he struggled a little bit. New defensive coordinator, new defensive scheme, a lot of new starters. They looked like they were playing in a preseason game today. And I'm hoping, Tony, that it's only 1 week. Yeah. I mean, it could. What if it takes the Browns 2 or 3 weeks to gel? It might happen. I understand the first loss, the first week is horrible. By the way, we have 8 days to stew on this because we don't play till Monday night. But it certainly looked like, cohesion was really a big problem.
Riz, how familiar does this sound? The best player out there might have been the punter.
Oh.
we're down to that again. We thought those days were over, right? He had a heck of a game, the rookie punter. But, it's just a bad commentary on everybody.
Well, a lot of the rookie coaches struggled today, and I thought Freddie did too. I got to hand it to Mike Vrabel, who's a Northeast Ohio kid. He totally outcoached Freddie Kitchens. Tone, they ran away from Myles Garrett. They had the right game plan to get the ball out of Marcus Mariota's hands very quickly. I thought offensively it took them a while, but they got on track. And defensively, Tony, they really confused. I was surprised the Browns got a little pass happy in the first half.
Well, they did. They had a complete imbalance in the first half of like 8 runs and 22 passes. And the game was not out of hand in the first half, you know? After the first drive, which ended with, of course, a missed PAT, which took the air out of everybody again. Other than that first drive, there was nothing offensively to talk about.
Boy, again, Vrabel, and you know, it's going to take Freddie a while. Tone, are you a little worried about Freddie Kitchens after one game, or do we got to see more?
Well, 18 penalties, Riz. I mean, that is just totally unacceptable.
All right, I'm going to guess they're not going to commit 18 penalties next week. Okay, so let me see the Browns in a road game. Tone, I thought the hype and everything played into it. You and I thought the Browns would explode and play well. The exact opposite happened, right?
It sure did.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Freddie's message out to the team and to the media was, hey, it's one game. It's one game.
Okay.
And you know what? He's been asking for adversity to test his team's character. He's got a boatload of it now.
Freddie was also asked about the offensive line troubles and what he can do.
We've got to evaluate that and see. I mean, we've got to get the ball out of his hand quicker. We held the ball too long today. Sometimes they were back there pretty quick, but whatever it is, we got to protect better. And I've got to do a better job of calling plays where we can protect better and help us protect better. So I'll do a better job moving forward. Our guys coaching will do a better job moving forward, and our players will do a better job moving forward. This only counts as one game. The world's not ending today, contrary to popular belief. Everybody's going to keep believing in the locker room. That's the only thing that matters. That's the only thing that's ever mattered. You know, it's very hard to go 16-0. So this is one game, and if we can learn more from this game early on, then so be it. It's good. But adversity is hitting early, and we're going to find out what kind of team we have now.
Freddie, I'm going to give you some advice. Don't look at Twitter tonight. Meanwhile, Baker Mayfield was asked about his confidence in a bounce back after this loss.
Because everybody's going to throw us in the trash. I think that's good. I know what type of men we have in this locker room, and quite frankly, I don't really give a damn what happens on the outside. I know how we're going to react. I know what we're going to do, how we're going to bounce back, and we got a Monday night game coming up. So we don't really care. We're ready to go. Don't flinch. It's game one of a long season. You know, to get to where we want to go, you're going to have bumps in the road, how to react to it. So we're going to come together. We're going to push forward. Not going to let it define us and see what type of men we have in this locker room. And I'm pretty sure I have a good, idea about it.
Tony, I don't remember his exact record at Oklahoma, but I got to believe that's probably the toughest game Baker Mayfield's ever played in.
Had to be. It's got to be in his career going back to grade school. That was a humiliating game for not only him, but the coach's debut. I mean, Freddie's a humble guy, but this was brutal to start your coaching career. It wasn't the margin of loss that was so humiliating as much as the way they played, the mistakes, the loss of control. I mean, that's something that Freddie prided himself on avoiding. And first game, he got a boatload of it.
Tom, what about, is this a good thing? Could this work in the favor of the Browns in that they were so riding high and they were so cocky? Now they got to realize they got to go back to work.
Well, that's the way everyone's got to look on it. That's the way they have to look on it. We all believed in the hype. I believed in it. If they believed in it, this is a bucket of water on the entire team, each and every one of them.
Yeah, and I'm going to reiterate this, though. Just relax. It's one game. Don't overreact. Because if the Browns would have won 34 to think, everybody would have us going to the Super Bowl.
Sure would.
Okay, so come on. Coming up, we are moving on. We are looking ahead. We are going on to Monday Night Football, the Week 2 opponent, the Jets. They didn't win today either. Stay with us.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to ABC's Monday Night Primetime National Football League television series.
First down, New York at their own 18-yard line. 47 seconds to play. It is intercepted by number 52, Billy Andrews. Touchdown, and no
Wow, the first ever Monday Night Football game. 50 years ago, was still the record for look at Howard Cosell.
Over 85,000 people at Municipal Stadium. It stood as the all-time Browns attendance record.
I don't really remember that game. I think it was like 8 years old, but I do remember how proud that Art Modell was to host that game. A lot of the owners, Tone explained, thought that was going to be a dud.
Yeah, they thought, Monday right after work, the gate would suffer. No other team wanted to volunteer for that game, and Modell, who was tied into the TV committee at the time, said, I'll do it. And it turned out that Cleveland just embraced it. And it was, Joe Namath was on in his prime. It was just a year removed from him winning Super Bowl III against the
Colts.
The Baltimore Colts. So the Jets were big time,
yeah,
and the Browns beat them.
Well, the Jets were not big time today. Tony gave up a 16-point lead. Their rookie coach, Adam Gase, lost. They fell to the Bills, so they're coming into Monday night looking for their win as well. Tony, do you feel like the bounce back is with the Browns? Can they do this right now?
Well,
you were in the locker room today. What was the vibe?
I think they were stunned by how they, figuratively fumbled the ball on one of the most anticipated Browns games in decades. The Jets are probably feeling the same thing. I mean, they lost on their home field too. Nobody wants to go 0-2. 0-1, you could say, hey, it's one game.
Right.
0-2 all of a sudden becomes a different thing. There are all kinds of numbers that show 0-2 teams just have a slim chance of making the playoffs. So by losing, the Browns made it an early must-win game.
Oh, Tony, no. I can't do this already.
Here we go.
Must win in week 2. Kevin, our executive producer, said it best. He goes, too bad it's not baseball. Baseball, you lose, and the next day you get up and you play another game. We have 8 days to stew on this, folks. 8 days. Relax. Tony, what are some of the keys, though, to beating the Jets? I thought the Browns didn't run the football enough today, Tone. Come on.
They did not. I mean, they came out and they wanted to get that lead, and they did get the lead. That's what was surprising to me. They've got to cut their penalties, obviously, down to single digits at most. They had 18 today. Waiting for them is who? Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator
Come
of
get
the Jets.
some.
Right.
Are you Tony? We're not here to talk about that.
We both are. So,
Tone, I want you to say hi to him on the conference call this week. I really do. Tell Greg we give our best. By the way, there were people all over Twitter going, we should have hired Greg Williams after one game. After one game, folks, come on. All right, coming up, don't go anywhere. The Indians won 2 out of 3 this weekend, right? From the Twins? Did they not?
They did.
Come
they
on,
won today.
Give us a break. We're going to spin the wheel when we come back. Stay with us. Oh, no, I bet you Antonio Brown's on there. What a treat. We want to welcome Tom Merriman and Merriman Legal to the Rizzo Show on Sunday nights. Of course, I got to work with Tom for many years here at Fox 8. He was I-team extraordinaire for many years, and now he has his own legal team where we're going to be presenting tonight, the Merriman Make Our Team Your Team Play of the Day. We're going to do this each and every week. And Tony, you agree with me, the play of the day, it was for the Titans. The Browns pulled it within 2, but look at how many defenders are out of position on this play. And Henry, the running back, goes to the house untouched, Tony. 75 yards, that broke the Browns' back.
It did. The Browns had drawn within, I think, 2 points at the time, and they were grinding it out. But then that was a backbreaker. That was the last hurrah right there.
That is our Merriman Legal Make Our Team Your Team Play of the Day. Tommy, great to have you on board. And now it's time, kids, to spin the wheel. We don't know what these are, by the way. So it's, the Indians, 2 out of 3. Tony, I like what the Indians did in Minnesota, but I think the division's still a little bit out of reach for them. And I do believe that they're still in for the wild card, right?
Well, they're right in it. I mean, they're third, and only 2 teams make it. But you got to win no matter who you're playing, whether it's the Twins or the worst team left on your schedule. Every game matters at this point.
By the way, did you not start your career covering the Cleveland Indians?
I did.
Is that true?
Well,
how long did you cover the Indians? Like a year?
It was barely a year. And then I got shuffled over to the Browns.
And now you're the general of the 100 Years' War.
Right.
By the way, we lost a big battle today, General. General rally.
We had some casualties today. Had some casualties.
Spin the wheel, kids. Spin it. Let's see. What do we got? Oh, LeBron James. How about LeBron? Tony is backing a bill in California to pay student athletes. He wants them to make money off their likeness. Good or bad?
That's good. There'll be a lot of people rooting him on if he could get that taken care of. These kids play their hearts out, and they don't realize any of the profit that their schools are making.
Yeah, it's on all the jerseys in the bookstore. You know, they don't get $1. And there are billions of dollars going to the NCAA for the basketball tournament and the football playoff. And the kids are barely, if you buy a kid a lunch, it's illegal a lot of times on a recruiting trip. How silly is that?
I know that.
You can't even buy a kid a Big Mac.
The system, the NCAA, doesn't want to pay athletes in college. This is a way of them acquiring some money from their own likeness.
All right, let's spin that wheel again, baby. Spin it. Yeah. Look at that MGM wheel. Oh, gee. Tony, the rich get richer. No, why, Tony? I want to ask you, people, why is Antonio Brown going to come correct in New England and he didn't in Oakland?
Well, everyone conforms to Bill Belichick's way, or you're booted out. You know, a lot sooner than Oakland booted him out. So it looks like he's getting rewarded for misbehavior and bad conduct.
Bad luck, Tone.
Yeah, real bad.
Tone, will he flourish in New England?
I don't know. Most players do, but there have been some that Belichick hasn't been able to conform. This will be an interesting case. But what more do you want? I mean, you leave Oakland, you leave Pittsburgh, and you join a team looking for their 7th Super Bowl ring.
And oh, by the way, they now have one of the best weapons in the National Football League. Tone, that just improved their chances to go to the Super Bowl. All right, let's spin it again, baby. Come on. Oh, Myles Garrett. Tone, Myles Garrett, what'd you think of his game today?
Not good. Not good, especially
Really?
with the open hand slap, one of the penalties. That's very unlike Myles Garrett. He did have at least one sack. He was very active, but they were concentrating.
But he was
on
in the
him.
body issue, Tone.
Yes, the Grecian god, as he said.
You know what? I'm sorry, folks, and this isn't, I'm not a prude or anything. I don't like the body issue. And I love, you know, I don't have a great body like all these people. I appreciate what they do, but it's their job. But the whole half-naked thing and him covering his package, and Tony, I don't know. I mean,
well, that's
I don't know.
more than half naked there.
Maybe the ladies loved it, though. I guess.
I'm sure.
That's a popular. I know ESPN, the magazine's kind of going away, and maybe it's the last hurrah for it. One more? Do we have one more? Let's go. One more, T. One more. Here we go. All right. Pumpkin spice latte. Tony, do you drink that?
I do not. I do not. I wouldn't blame anyone for their choices. But
I will. Okay. Don't pumpkin in your coffee, folks. Pumpkin in beer. Pumpkin in coffee. You know what kind of coffee I like? Coffee. Dark, black coffee, okay? How about Spam? Pumpkin spice Spam. You in for that?
No, I'll pass that along.
I'm embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed, but I'll say this, man. Spam on the grill is not bad. I'm just saying. Child of the 70s.
Throw it in your smoker, too?
That's, smoke Spam. Well, no, you don't want to smoke. You got to burn it to get all the flavors out in the fat. All right, let's see what's going on at our favorite place, the beautiful MGM Northfield.
This September, visit MGM Northfield Park for our $5 million Swipe to Win free play every day. Swipe your card from 9 to 11 and receive up to $1,000 in free play. Plus, receive an entry to win a Mercedes Saturdays at 8 p.m. Football season is here, and Tap Sports Bar has all the games, featuring over 75 TVs. Join us for watch parties every Saturday and Sunday for chances to win awesome prizes and enjoy food and beverage specials. Don't miss folk rock legend Gordon Lightfoot when he brings his 80-year strong tour to center stage Friday, September 20th. The hits keep coming when Hotel California, A Salute to the Eagles, plays all your favorites on Friday, September 29th. It's Ladies' Night in the Neon Room when the Thunder from Down Under returns to the MGM Northfield Park on September 27th and 28th. Tickets available at the MGM box office or Ticketmaster.com. Take a Vegas vacation without leaving the state. MGM Northfield Park, Las Vegas is here.
All right, stay tuned. Big Chuck and Little John are coming up next. There you go, right after us. And by the way, Tony, we need a little Big Chuck and Little John tonight, don't we?
Hey, if we don't laugh, we'll cry.
Tony, what do the Browns now have to do? They got a 24-hour rule, right? They got to put this out of their mind.
They do, but they have to patch together an offensive line here, and they may be without Kendall Lamb. We don't know the seriousness.
Will Greg Robinson get suspended?
I don't think so. I think the ejection, and there might be a fine, but they're down. They don't have a backup offensive tackle.
All right, folks, long season. Long season. Relax, everybody. Stay calm. We'll be okay. Tony, thank you for being here. Always a pleasure. Tony will be with us for home games this year. You better be here every Sunday night. Good to be alive. Good night, everybody.